fellow Magic players. This is the first of a series of games I had at the trip in Aarhus. This is against DibAtog, and he starts out strong with City of Brass, Mox Ruby, Sol Ring into a Serendipity Free turn 1. But he hasn't calculated with the Electric Eels Penchant for drawing turn 1 lower. Yeah, that's the thing under that horrendous glare right there. Okay, so we both have pretty good starts here. A lower into a Black Lotus. Hello. Hi. Green and blue twins. And there's another lower. So it's like a mirror start, except he has a whole lot of mana. And I have a full hand, so I can still use my Library of Alexandria. And then we have a stand-up with a Surrender each attacking us. So he uses Chain Lightning on me here, and he has also used Library of Alexandria to drop a Mana Vault, and then empties his hand by drawing an Atog. I'm not sure if he was aware that he could attack with his Serendipity Freed, and if I blocked, he could Chain Lightning the Serendip. But I probably wouldn't have blocked anyway. Not this early with a blue-red player. And here we have the two creatures the deck is named out after, the Serendipity Freed Atog. And it seems to be all the rage at the moment in Sweden, at least, and I guess in Aarhus as well. It should be a very strong deck revolving around the blue-red counterburn shell, but with the Atogs and a lot of artifacts like Ank of Mithra and Black Wisers and stuff like that, and a whole lot of burn. So it's dangerous for me when I have so many creatures that tends to damage myself. And I'm actually mana screwed here. That library at least makes me dig through the deck, but I have to discard a lot of cards in the process because I only have colorless mana at the moment. I'm really at the defensive here. So he attacks, and I think I let it go in because I'm still too afraid of him bolting me or trading like that. So at least I draw into a basic swamp at the moment. This should come in handy if he uses Blood Moons against me. Just needs to draw another one, and then I'm at least home free in that department. But okay, a single black mana source. So we use that for a black Dark Ritual. Draws the second card with the library, and then we get out the Dewsum. So now it's Arabian Nights Mayhem here. And taking a bunch of damage. But at least I have the strongest creature out. Volcanic Island, okay. I think the only thing that can block it at the moment is the Atog if he munches all my opponent's artifacts. But he attacks with it. So I like to block him with the Serendip. I'm too afraid of letting him get in with, and he can eat a Sol Ring, a Mana Vault, and a Mox. So he uses the Mana Vault and bolts it. I'm sorry about the glare and the bad angles at this point. We were at a very crowded table full of old school players, and I was pleasantly surprised at how many we were. But it made it pretty difficult to set up the recordings in a meaningful way. So that's the reason why. At least we got this one. So I attack with the Dewsum Gin, and he just lets it slip right by. I can understand that. I think perhaps it was a mistake of him for fusing the Atog and the bolt and everything to get rid of the Serendipity Freed. He needed to block my Dewsum Gin with it, I think, because that Dewsum Gin will dominate him now. So put down a Hypnotic Spectre. It's not terribly good in this matchup. And he puts down a mountain, and then he attacks. I like to block with the Spectre here because we're actually in a race at the moment. We're both playing a lot of burn. We're both taking damage from our Ifrits and Jinns. So every round counts at the moment. I think he's at 8 life. So let's see what we can make happen here. It's close to the end. I believe I'm at 7. Or 2, actually, I'm not really sure. We'll see in a moment, I presume. So attack with the Jusum. Yeah, here, imagine if you had the Mana Vault or the Bolt at this point. I'd be so screwed. You can just kill it and okay, at least I have a Terra and a Time Warp. So not killing the Jusum Jin could prove fatal at this point. But it was a tricky play, I presume. That Serendip Ifrit was also rather menacing, and he wanted to have air superiority, I suppose, with his Serendip. Okay, so end the game right there with a Bolt, and we pack it up because it was very difficult to be caught there. And next up, we're having I'm playing a different player with this so-called machine gun deck. That's what it's called in Stockholm, at least. It's a blue-red deck, a very efficient one. It's a blue-red robots deck, but he has tweaked it, and those Sage of Latnam he puts up there is one of his tweaks, and I really love that card. So props to Peter. It's a Peter Frühland from Aarhus I'm playing against. So got in with the Jusum, and now I'm mind twisting him for 3. Cheers. We're sitting at a pub here, actually, a cafe. It was a pretty posh place. We tried several more darker places, but couldn't find a table there, as it's a short holiday the day after this. So I'm sitting there with my recording equipment, and we're sitting with dice and cards at this cafe / restaurant, and sometimes people come over and ask us what's this game, what the game is all about. That's pretty funny. It must look very, very complicated for outsiders, I suppose. Okay, back to the game. So we get out a Singe Vampire after he has bolted. And he has a sushi. But I'm ahead in life, so I can just keep on trading with him. But I always needs to be careful here, because the machine gun deck has, as the name indicates, a lot of ways of putting out a lot of damage on you fast. There's actually a Wak Wak episode, the podcast of it, I think it's episode 6, where Gordon and Svend talks about it. So it seems like the metagame in Aarhus is pretty influenced by the last NewbCon. Or perhaps they're just more in vogue with today's decks than we are up in Aalborg. That's very likely as well. So he has put out a copy artifact on his sushi, and he has a Triskelion and Heckle's Recall in hand, but I put out a Jusum, and he blocks a Jusum with both sushis, and I bought the other one to kill them both. But he surprises me here by using Hercule's Recall, and we didn't actually know here if you could do this and still kill the Jusum if they can do this after damage, but just before they die. But just for the heck of it, we said they could, so Peter has his creatures still, and my Jusum is dead. But he's at 1 life, so he needs to work fast now. So he has to put out his artifacts again, and has to find some way to stop that hungry vampire eyeing him from above. Needs to get a flyer here. He can't Sonic Blast it. Perhaps a double bolt, but I'm not sure what he's up to. Triskelion, okay, it can do 3 points of damage, but he can't use the City of Brass. Okay, and he just ended right there. So, yeah, it's up to round 2 at the pub, and the lighting is a bit better here, I hope. So Peter is on the play. So he starts out with a Mux Jet at least, and a Factory, maybe? Yeah? He's thinking an awful lot about it, yeah. I think he is contemplating what to do in the next few turns. So I'm taking my time, having a sip of the beer. And down comes a Mana Vault. Okay, and a turn 1 sushi. This is not good, especially since I've actually, as I said in a previous recording, I've taken the shatter out, and that means that I really have no way of removing it short of a turn 1 Jusum Gen to block it. So I get the tutor, but I can't tutor for a shatter at the moment, and Terra won't do, Lightning Bolt won't do. So the more games I'm having, the more I'm regretting not having at least one shatter in the main deck. And against the worst matchup I can imagine, like an Ayasu or something like that with very, very few artifacts, you can always at least kill a Moxen, or it can destroy an attacking Mistress Factory. And everyone has factories, almost everyone, so the shatter is almost never a dead card, no matter the matchup. So I think I'll put one back there. So I'm using a lot of time contemplating what to do here, how I can save myself, as I can't remove it. So it's Peter's turn, and he drops a Volcanic Island and starts swinging away with his sushi, and puts down a Serendipity Free. So the pressure is really on here. Just right from the get-go. I use a Time Walk just to buy myself some time to get out one of the bigger cows. So that's always something. At least I can perhaps trade with one of them if he double blocks. I have no access to red mana, which is a problem. Okay, so he elects to just move in with the Serendipity Freed and probably block with the sushi and follow up with a bolt. And here comes my red mana. In a City of Brass. So I imagine that's his play. But I can't just stay back and just keep on taking damage from my own Jusum Gen and the Serendip. So I'm taking a bit of a chance and attack with both creatures, knowing that he'll probably block the Jusum and bolt it. And I'll at least get in with the Factory. So that will mean an equal trade-off, as he will take 1 damage from his Serendip next turn. And I completely forgot that he had a Factory down there, so that's a bit of a problem. And he uses that to block. My Factory. Sitting back and having some more beer and thinking about things. That was pretty dumb. But at least he likes just to block the Factory and let the Jusum in, so it's not a total catastrophe, like if I had lost both of them to a bolt and a double and a block of each, but it was just throwing that Factory away for no good reason, or because I completely overlooked his defending Factory. Okay, yeah, I reminded him to keep his Mana Vault untapped. He actually takes damage. He takes 2 damage a turn from his one from his Serendip and one for his Mana Vault. That's always something. But he puts out 9 damage. It's pretty bad. So what to do here? Yeah, so just recently put down a blocker which made the previous attack possible, I suppose. And I need to take out the attacker with the largest amount of damage, because otherwise I'll get so low in life that I can't use my City of Brass and he can bolt me. So at the moment I'm trying to figure out if it's worth it to lose that blocker without taking any of his down, if I can do something here, make a Hail Mary or something like that. And after much consideration, I believe this was the best play for me. So I'm at 5 life. This is, by all signs, points toward this is the last turn. Okay, so we attack with the Dewsum first. That's 5 damage. And here we go. All or nothing. So I'm going down to 4 life now. And he bolts me right before he has to discard, so I'm at 2. But I need to draw some direct damage here, and I don't. So that's it. I concede there, but it was my only out. I had to block the big guy in order to have enough life to survive a bolt from him and survive the usage of my City of Brass. And then hoping I could draw into something completely crazy like a Lotus and 2 bolts, something like that. Perhaps a land and a Red Mox and 2 bolts. But it was not to be. And I guess that's the definition of a Hail Mary. It's 1 out of 10, but it's sometimes just the best play. The best play I can think of anyway. So we'll continue with some more matches after this from Aarhus. Thank you for watching.